Very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. So, in the previous session, we finished standard costing. I hope you guys were able to solve all the questions of standard costing. I hope you guys have completed all the homework what I gave you guys. So now today we'll be starting with again a very important chapter, that is marginal costing. From examination point of view, again, this chapter is very important and you will find questions on this chapter in every attempt. So let's start with this chapter, marginal costing. Good morning, Linga. Good morning, Shamli, and very good, Shamli. I hope you are thorough with all the questions, Shamli. Good morning, Geeta. Good morning, Pooja. Good morning, Mujahid. So let's start with this chapter, marginal costing, a very important and a very interesting chapter, that is marginal costing. Again, this chapter has nothing to do with cost calculation. It's a part of management accounting and it assists management in decision making. Good morning, Harsh. Good morning, Pooja B. Now, before starting with this chapter, marginal costing, let me discuss few terms and concepts. We're talking about the first part. The point is, what is marginal cost? When talking about the first point, it is marginal cost. So the question is, what is marginal cost? When talking about marginal cost, it's the cost of manufacturing additional unit. What is marginal cost? The cost of manufacturing additional unit. The cost of manufacturing additional unit is what we call as marginal cost. Let's say I'm manufacturing 100 units and the cost is 1000. If I manufacture 100 unit, if the cost is 1010, then here rupees 10 is what? My marginal cost. Rupees 10 is what? My marginal cost. Another example, let's say if I manufacture 100 units and the cost is 1000, and if I manufacture 100 first unit, the additional cost is 1050. So herein also rupees 50 is what? My marginal cost. So the cost to manufacture additional unit is what we call as marginal cost. So the first point what we started is marginal cost, that is the cost of manufacturing additional unit. Now, next concept is variable cost. Anyone having any idea what is variable cost? Anyone with any opinion what is variable cost? With few examples you can mention. Manish sir, वो everyone पे enable कर दो ना, everyone पे. Yeah. You guys can post on the common platform only. Yes. You guys can post on the common platform only, please. Very good, Jaya. Very good, everyone. So Hina Kumar, sir, cost which is dependent on capacity. Anyone with any other opinion? Very good, everyone. When talking about variable cost, as many students mentioned, the cost that varies according to production. The cost that varies according to production, वो cost जो production के हिसाब से vary करता है, we call it as variable cost. When talking about the examples of variable cost, the best example is raw material, wages, and all variable overheads. So what is variable cost? The cost that varies according to production. When talking about the examples of variable cost, it is raw material, direct wages, and all the variable overhead. Let's say I'm manufacturing 10 units and the cost is 100 rupees. So for 2000 units, the cost will be 20,000 rupees. For 10,000 units, the cost will be 1 lakh rupees. For 5 lakh units, the cost will be 50 lakh rupees. And for 0 units, the cost will be 0 rupees. So what we can see is that this is the cost that varies according to production. ये वो cost है जो production के हिसाब से vary करता है. More will be the production, more will be the variable cost. Less will be the production, less will be the variable cost. And if there is no manufacturing activity or if there is no production, then the variable cost will be 0. So ये वो cost है जो production के हिसाब से vary करता है. Now the next concept is fixed cost. When talking about fixed cost, the cost that remain fixed irrespective of production. This is the cost that remain fixed irrespective of production. So irrespective of the number of units manufactured, this cost will not change. Irrespective of the units manufactured, this cost will not change. Let's say I'm manufacturing 10 units and the cost is 10 lakh. If I manufacture 10,000 units also, this cost will be how much? 10 lakh only. And if I manufacture 5 lakh units also, the cost will be how much? 10 lakh. And very important, if I manufacture 0 units also, the cost will be how much? 10 lakh. So when talking about fixed cost, the cost that remain fixed irrespective of production. Let me take a very practical example. I'm the manufacturer of this marker pen. I repeat again, I'm the manufacturer of this marker pen. These marker pens are manufactured at a variable cost of rupees 8. These marker pens are manufactured at a variable cost of rupees 8. That is raw material, that is plastic, ink, labor cost and all. So these marker pens are manufactured at a variable cost of rupees 8 and they are sold at the rate rupees 10. They are sold at the rate rupees 10. Now per pen, how much I am recovering? Rupees 2. Per pen, how much I am recovering? Rupees 2. Now my first object will be what? To recover my fixed cost. Now let's say I have taken a premise on rent and the monthly rent is rupees 1 lakh. Let's say I have taken a premise on rent and the monthly rent is rupees 1 lakh. So this rent is what? My fixed cost. If I manufacture 10 pens also, my rent will be 1 lakh. If I manufacture 20,000 pens also, my rent will be 1 lakh. And if I'm not manufacturing any pen also, the landlord will not see that whether I'm manufacturing or not. He will be asking on the first date of every month that I want my rupees 1 lakh. So rent is what? My fixed cost. So when talking about the examples, we can say rent is what? My fixed cost. Salaries are my fixed cost. Interest is my fixed cost. Depreciation, insurance, etc. So the fixed cost is the cost that remain fixed irrespective of production. Now I'll be asking you, I'm asking you guys a question and I want answer on the personal, not on everyone part. So message me personally. So let's say in the same example, I'm manufacturing this pen at a variable cost of rupees 8. I'm manufacturing this pen at a variable cost of rupees 8 and I'm selling it for rupees 10. So how much I'm recovering per pen? Rupees 2. Now, what will be my target? Let's say my fixed cost is rupees 1 lakh. So what will be my target? To manufacture and sell that much of pen so that at least first I should be able to recover my fixed cost. So let's say my fixed cost is rupees 1 lakh. So can you guys tell me how much pen should I manufacture and sell so that I can at least earn rupees 1 lakh and I can recover my fixed cost? Very good, Jaya. Correct answer. Anil, it is incorrect. Shamli Sharma, it is correct. Pranav, very good, it is correct. Linga, correct answer. Very good, everyone. Harsh Kaur, very good, correct answer. Anil, incorrect answer. Himanshu, correct answer. I don't know anything, Kuldeep Nagar. I'm not discussing any formulas. Very good, Arun. The answer is correct. Gunjan Devi, the answer is incorrect, Gunjan. Hina Kumar, the answer is correct. Very good, Hina. Sara Kasim, very good, Sara. The answer is correct. So I repeat again, the question is very simple that I'm manufacturing this marker at a variable cost of rupees 8. That is the raw material, labor, and all the direct expenses. And my cost comes to rupees 8. Now, I'm selling this marker pen for rupees 10. So per pen, I'm recovering 2 rupees. Now, my first target is what? That I should manufacture and sell this much of markers so that at least I should be able to recover my fixed cost. So let's say my fixed cost is rupees 1 lakh and per pen I'm recovering rupees 2. So my first target will be what? I repeat again, to manufacture and sell that much of pen so that at least I should be able to recover my fixed cost. So at the end of the day, how much I want to recover? 1 lakh rupees. Per pen, how much I'm recovering? Rupees 2. So 50,000 markers. 50,000 markers, if I manufacture and sell, then I'll be able to recover my fixed cost. Okay, even though I won't make profit, but at once I manufacture and sell 50,000 markers, I'm able to recover my variable cost also and fixed cost also. So this point is what we call as break-even point. This is what we will be learning in the, in this chapter. This point we will be learning in this chapter also. So here in 50,000 pence is what? My break-even point. So the point where there is no profit, no loss. So if I manufacture and sell 50,000 pens, I am safe. That okay, if I'm not earning profit, but I'm not making loss also. Very important, guys. Once I cross this level of 50,000, let's say if I'm manufacturing 50,000 10 pens, 10 pen extra. My fixed cost is already recovered. So for extra 10 pen, per pen, how much I'm getting? Rupees 2. So how much will be my profit? Rupees 20. So this is the concept. This fixed cost is very risky. As I said, if I'm not being able to manufacture 50,000 marker pen, then there will be a loss. So most of the companies had to shut down their operation because they are not being able to recover their fixed cost. Because fixed cost is the cost that remain unchanged irrespective of production. So if we are not being able to achieve or maintain a production or sales level of 50,000 pen, we will be in loss. So most of the companies are not being able to recover their fixed costs. That's why they shut down their operations. Anyone having any doubts or queries till now? Yes, anyone having any doubts? So which one is more risky, fixed or variable? Very good, everyone. So during the lockdown also, the point was that many companies were not being able to recover their fixed cost because variable cost to tabhi lagega when we are doing any manufacturing activity. If we are not manufacturing any product, then there will be no variable cost. So the major headache for all the companies is what? The fixed cost. Anyone having any doubts or queries? Waiting for your queries. The major headache for all the companies is what? Their fixed cost, because variable cost tabhi lagega when there is any production. If there are no production, no variable cost, but the fixed costs remain unchanged. If the time permits, for sure I'll try to, Hina. So I request you guys to copy this explanation, giving you 2 minutes time. Whatever the concepts part I'm discussing, do uh, do copy everything. And Hina, I think most of the questions what I have discussed were from past exams only. So don't worry, whatever I'm discussing is more than sufficient. Hina, I'll be discussing variety of question in these sessions also for marginal costing. So don't worry, Hina. Mustafa, let me check. Give me some time. So let's proceed further and let's start with this chapter marginal costing. So we are done with the basic concepts. So let's start with this chapter marginal costing. Now this chapter marginal costing is based on 5 terms. This chapter marginal costing is based on 5 terms. That is sales, less variable cost is contribution, less fixed cost is what we call as profit. So if we subtract variable cost from sales, we will be getting a figure. We will be calling it as contribution. From contribution, if we deduct fixed cost, we'll be getting profit. So let's say my sales is 200 rupees. My variable cost is 120. Therefore, my contribution will be how much? 80. If my fixed cost is 40, how much will be my profit? 40. So I repeat again, when talking about this chapter marginal costing, this chapter is based on total 5 terms, that is sales minus variable cost. We call the term as contribution. From contribution, if we deduct fixed cost, we'll be getting what? Profit. So ये chapter जो है ये 5 terms पे based है. Else there is nothing in this chapter. So if you are able to understand these 5 points, you'll be able to solve any questions on marginal costing. One second. Contribution means whatever we are contributing to fixed cost and profit. Anyways, we call these terms as contribution. So now, very important, guys. So we can say you should know how to do adjust with these 5 terms, that is plus, minus, divide, multiply. You should be able to calculate these figures, and this is all what we will be discussing in marginal costing. So when talking about the formula for contribution, it is what? Sales minus variable cost. So if my sales is 200, my variable cost is 120, what will be my contribution? 80. We can draft another formula for contribution as fixed cost plus profit. So we can say contribution is equals to fixed cost plus profit. 40 is my fixed cost. 40 is my profit. So in short, the formula for contribution is what? Fixed cost plus profit. So you should be able to frame these equation either contribution minus profit is equals to fixed cost, sales minus contribution is equals to variable cost, sales minus variable cost and fixed cost should be profit. So these are the 5 terms you should learn thoroughly. So this is all what about marginal costing. Now let's start with the first question, what the examiner do ask in general. The first question what the examiner generally do ask is PV ratio. PV ratio is what? Profit volume ratio. The first question what the examiner generally do ask is what? PV ratio. That is profit. Yes, Harsh, let me check. 1 second. So when talking about PV ratio is profit volume ratio. When talking about PV ratio, what is PV ratio? Very simple, it is contribution divided by sales into 100. So herein my contribution is 80, My sales is 200 into 100, that is 40%. So when talking about PV ratio, what is PV ratio? The percentage of contribution to sales. Contribution जो है मेरी sales का कितना percent है, that PV ratio is defined. So what is PV ratio? That ये जो contribution है, ये मेरी sales का कितना percentage है. What is PV ratio? That is the profit volume ratio. That is what it says, that what is the percentage of contribution to sales. So when talking about it in simple language, it is percentage of contribution to sales. That is जो contribution है मेरी सेल्स का कितना परसेंट है, इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, पीवी रेशियो. जैसे आपने जीपी रेशियो पढ़ा होगा, ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट रेशियो, that is the percentage of gross profit to sales. So similarly, when talking about PV ratio, what is PV ratio? The percentage of contribution to sales. That is contribution जो है मेरी sales का कितना percentage है. So here in my contribution is what, 80. My sales is what, 200. So how much percentage is 80 to 200? 40%. Let's say my contribution is 1000. My sales is 10,000. My contribution is 1000. My sales is 10,000. So what will be my PV ratio? 10%. Let's say my contribution is 20,000. My contribution is 20,000. My sales is 1 lakh. What will be my PV ratio? 20%. So contribution sales का कितना percent है, ये बताता है हमें PV ratio. So what is the percentage of contribution to sales? This is what we call as PV ratio. Very good, everyone. So let me post few questions and I want answers from everyone. Again, don't post it on everyone part, just post it personally. Let's say my contribution is 10,000. My sales is, let's say, 50,000. So what will be my PV ratio? Can you guys tell me? Very good, Pranav. Very good, everyone. So very simple, the PV ratio is how much? 20%. That is my contribution 10,000 divided by my sales 50,000 into 100. So this is 20%. It means what? जो भी मेरी sales होगी, if my sales is 5 lakh, then 20% what will be my contribution. So if my sales is 50,000, that 20 contribution will be how much? 20%. That is 10,000. So let's take a situation if my sales is 5 lakh and PV ratio is 40%. Again, I repeat, if my sales is how much? 5 lakh. If my sales is 5 lakh, and let's say my percentage of contribution to sales is, let's say, 30%, then how much will be my contribution? Can you guys tell me? If my sales is 5 lakh and my PV ratio, that is percentage of contribution to sales, is 30%. So what will be my contribution? Very good, everyone. The answer is correct. Of everyone, answer is correct. So very simple. What is PV ratio? That is contribution sales का कितना percentage है? 30%. So what will be my contribution? 5 lakh into 30% will be my contribution. So this will be 1,50,000. Let's take one more question. Wherein let's say my sales is 7 lakh. My variable cost is 80%. So what will be my contribution? What will be my contribution? Waiting for your answers. Okay, so please check your answers now. Pooja Byalal. Ria, please recheck your answers. So very good, Mujahid. Your answers are correct. Sara Kasim, all your answers are correct. Ashlesha, all your answers are correct. Rohan Bachawat, please recheck your answer. Mr. Rahman, I think you have not posted the answer for this question. Khushbu Kumari, please recheck your answer. It's a very simple question. Very good, Mustafa. Your answers are correct. Gunjan, all your answers are correct. Anil, all your answers are correct. Jaya, all your answers are correct. Very good. Shamli Sharma, all your answers are correct. Pooja, all your answers are correct. Hina Kumar, your answers are correct. Okay, Namrata, the answer for question number 3 is incorrect. Jash Agrawal, Aditya, all your answers are incorrect. Harivansh Kumar, your answer is correct for question number 3. Good morning, Rabari. All your answers are correct. Very good, Pranav. So here and see, my sales is 7 lakh. My variable cost is 80%. So herein what we can see is that here also, see here in this question also, we have divided the sales of 200 in two parts, that is variable cost and contribution. So if my sales is 200, my variable cost was 120 and my contribution was 80. So sales minus variable cost is what? Contribution. So if contribution is here in 40% of total sales, so variable cost will be how much? 60% of total sales. So herein, if my variable cost is 80%, it means my contribution will be how much? 20%. So therefore, my PV ratio will be how much? If variable cost is 80%, contribution will be 20%. So my contribution will be how much? 7 lakh into 20%. That is 1,40,000 rupees. So those who posted 7 lakh into 80%, it is incorrect because 5,60,000 dot what you are getting is what? My variable cost. It's not my contribution, it is my variable cost. So Aditya, Diya, Aditya, Jash Agrawal, I hope this part is clear to you guys. Many students posted this answer 5,60,000. That is incorrect. Priya, please recheck your answer. How come you are getting 1,75,000? Yes, Priya. Good morning, Meenu. All your answers are correct. Very good, Meenu. Very good, Mustafa. All your answers are correct, Rohan. Very good, Namrata. Now it is correct. All the answers are correct now. Diya Jain, the contribution is not 5,60,000. My variable cost is 5,60,000. My contribution will be how much? 1,40,000. My contribution will be how much? 1,40,000. My variable cost will be 5,60,000. Now, next question for you. Question number 4. Anyone? Yes, Diya, I hope it is clear to you. Very important, guys, when talking about sales. See, herein also, writing this explanation also, sales can be divided in two parts, variable cost and contribution. My sales is how much? My sales is 7 lakh. Now, variable cost is 80% of sales. So, if variable cost is 80% of sales, my contribution will be how much? 20% of sales. So, therefore, my contribution will be 7 lakh into 20%, that is 1,40,000. And my variable cost will be 7 lakh into 80%, that is 5,60,000. So, those who posted this answer 5,60,000, it was incorrect. I hope it is clear to all. Now, let's proceed further. With the next question. Let's say my contribution is 1,20,000. Question number 4. My contribution is 1,20,000 and my PV ratio is 30%. So what will be my sales? Waiting for your answers. Very good, Pranav. Your answer is correct. Rabari, correct answer. Hina Kumar, correct answer. Himanshu, correct answer. Priya Sharma, correct answer. Sara Kasim, correct answer. Harsh Mishra, correct answer. Mujahid, incorrect answer. Mr. P. Mujahid, the answer is incorrect. Gunjan, it is correct. Khushbu Kumari, it is incorrect. Jaya Manochan, it is incorrect. Shamli Sharma, correct. So those whose answers are incorrect, do recalculate your answers. Those whose answers are incorrect, do recalculate your answer. Pooja Byalal, it is correct. It's a simple mathematics, guys. Anil, it is correct. Very good. Harsh Kaur, it is correct. Mustafa, it is correct. Very good. Most of the students posted correct answer. Very good, everyone. So herein again the same concept that sales can be divided in two parts, variable cost and contribution. Contribution is 1,20,000. PV ratio is 30% of sales. My sales is always 100%. So 1,20,000 is what? The 30% of total sales. See, herein also the PV ratio is 30%. It means contribution is 30% of sales. So if the sales is 100, contribution is 30. So how much will be my sales? 1,20,000 is equals to how much? 30. The sales is 100. So how much will be 100? So if my sales is 4 lakh, variable cost will be 70%. That is 2,80,000. I hope this part is clear to all. So very simple. Contribution PV ratio is what? That what is the percentage of contribution to sales? हमारा जो contribution है हमारी sales का कितना percent है? 30%. And this 30% figure is what? 1,20,000. So what will be the 100% figure? 4 lakh. Very good, everyone. All your answers are correct. Very good, Yashashwini. One more question for you guys. Let's say my variable cost is 3,60,000. My PV ratio is 25%. So what will be my sales? Waiting for your answers now. So Himanshu Kumar, it is incorrect. Don't post it over the common group. Mr. Rahman. Rohan, it is correct. Very good. Shamli, it is correct. Very good. Harsh Mishra, correct answer. Very good. Hina Kumar, incorrect answer. Pranav, incorrect answer. Pooja B, the answer is correct. Pooja Byalal, answer is correct. Gunjan, answer is correct. Priya Sharma, answer is correct. Mustafa, the answer. Mustafa, again it is incorrect. Prajapati Namrata, it is correct. Diya Jain, it is correct. Very good, everyone. Aditya, it is incorrect. Sara Kasim, it is correct. Very good, Sara. Khushbu, it is incorrect, Khushbu. So here in very simple again, sales can be divided in two parts, variable cost and contribution. My variable cost is how much? 3,60,000. Now my contribution is not given, but the PV ratio is given 25%. PV ratio is 25%. It means my contribution is 25% of sales. So if my contribution is 25% of sales, my variable cost will be how much? 75%. And sales will be how much? 100%. So this 3,60,000 is equals to how much? 75. So how much will be 100? 4,80,000. आप चेक कीजिए क्वेश्चन में कंट्रीब्यूशन गिवन है या वेरिएबल कॉस्ट गिवन है. So herein the percentage of sales to contribution is given 25%. So if the contribution is 25% of sales, my variable cost will be how much? 75% of sales. So many students posted different answers. So those who have any doubts or queries, you guys can post your queries. Adil, Jash Agarwal, your answers are correct now. Very good, Jash. Mujahid, please recheck your answer. Jaya, please recheck your answer. Okay, Jaya, very good. It is correct. Ria, please recheck your answer. Sabah Shakil, please recheck your answer. I hope this part is clear to all. Anyone with any doubts or queries? So, Yashashwini, very simple. Yashashwini, very simple. Sales can be divided in two parts, that is variable cost and contribution. Sales can be divided in two parts, that is variable cost and contribution. What is PV ratio? PV ratio says the percentage of contribution to sales. So contribution is how much? 25% of total sales. So if the contribution is 25% of total sales, it means my variable cost will be how much? 75% of total sales. Now the figure given is not contribution. The figure given is what? My variable cost. So this figure is not given. My variable cost is given, that is 3,60,000. So sales will always be 100%. So 3,60,000 is equals to 75. So how much will be 100? 4,80,000. I hope this part is clear to you now, Yashashwini. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? I'm just discussing each and every point where students can find difficult. I mean, where students can get confused. So the point is, do pay attention. Whatever the questions I'm posting, do post your answers. So anyone with any other? Yes, Hina, I know this. I hope it is clear to you, Minu. Any doubts? Harsh Kaur, how come you got 4,50,000? Rabari, your answer is correct. Very good. Pranav, again, how come you got 14,40,000? Please recheck your concepts. Anyone with any doubts or queries? Those who posted incorrect answer? That's okay, Mustafa. Half of the work is done if you read the question carefully. So the point is, before starting with the solution, read the question carefully. So those who posted incorrect answer, anyone having any doubts or queries? Okay, so fine. I request you guys to copy this explanation. This is the concept part. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these questions. So giving you 2 minutes time to copy everything. Please copy everything. Let's take one more question. Let's say my sales is 500 units. The selling price per unit is 10. So my total sales will be 5,000. My contribution will be how much? 1,500. And contribution per unit is what? हर यूनिट का कंट्रीब्यूशन कितना हो जाएगा? 3. Now herein, what will be my PV ratio? Contribution divided by sales into 100. So if my contribution is 1,500, my sales is 5,000 into 100. So this will be 30%. It means we can say my contribution is what? 30% of sales. Suppose, don't start with the calculation, you can post on the common group. Let's say instead of 500 units, if I'm manufacturing 800 units, I repeat again, instead of 500 units, if I'm manufacturing 800 units, my question is my PV ratio will be same or it will change? Waiting for your answers. Quick, post it on the common group only now. My question is PV ratio change hoga ya nahi hoga if the units are changed to 800 units? I just want a simple answer. So Pooja Byalal posted, yes, sir, it will change. Mustafa, no. Shamli, no. Himanshu, it will change. Ashlesha, yes, it will change. Mr. Rahman is saying it will change. Adil Khan says it will change. Harivansh Kumar, no, it will not change. So 50% opinion. Many are saying yes, many are saying no. So Linga says it will change. Okay. So now, see, as I said, if I'm manufacturing 800 units, my question is that PV ratio change hoga ya nahi hoga? So see, in this case, we were manufacturing how many units? 500 units, right? So let's say if we are manufacturing 800 units, my sales will be how much? 800 into 10, 8,000. 800 into 7, 5,600. So my contribution will be how much? 1,400. So my PV ratio will be how much? 1,400 divided by 8,000. Sorry, 2,400. So the PV ratio will remain same. 1 second, guys. So herein what we can see is that if the units are increasing, the PV ratio will remain unchanged. Let's say instead of 800 units, let's say if I manufacture and sell 1 unit also, 1 into 10, it will be 10. 1 into 7, it will be 7. So therefore, my contribution will be 3. So 3 into 10, it will be 100. So it is 30%. So herein what we can see is that if the sales are increasing, there is no change in PV ratio. If the sales are reducing, there is no change in PV ratio. But very important, guys, very important. Instead of changing the quantity, let's say I change the sales price from 10 to 9. Instead of changing the sales quantity, if I'm changing the sales price, will the PV ratio change? क्या PV ratio change होगा? You can post it over the common group only, guys. If I'm changing the price instead of the quantity, let's say if I'm changing the selling price or variable cost per unit, क्या PV ratio change होगा? Yes or no? So everyone is with the opinion that, sir, yes, sir, the PV ratio will change. So here in the important point is what? That this relationship need to be maintained. That is 10, 7 and 3. The quantity doesn't make any difference in the PV ratio. But if there is any change in selling price per unit, so herein, if my revised selling price is 9, variable cost is 7, so my contribution will be how much? 2. So 2 divided by 9 into 100. So 2 divided by 9 into 100, it will be 22.22. So the point is, till the time the selling price per unit, the variable cost per unit, and the contribution per unit remain same, there will be no change in PV ratio. 1 second. So the point is, if the sales units are increasing or if the sales units are decreasing, there will be no change in PV ratio. But yes, if the selling price is increasing or decreasing, or variable cost per unit is increasing or decreasing, yes, the PV ratio will change. Now, so in short, in general, also always make a note of it. If the sales are increasing from 5 lakh to 8 lakh, what we will assume? That the price or quantity is increasing, the quantity is increasing. So if the question is silent, very important, guys, do make a note of it. If the question is silent and sales are increasing or decreasing, it means what? The quantity is increasing or decreasing. Therefore, PV ratio will remain unchanged. So I'm writing this for your reference also. If the question is silent, and sales is either increasing or decreasing. If the question is silent and sales is either increasing or decreasing, then we will assume that there is a change in quantity. Therefore, PV ratio will remain unchanged. So always assume, if the question is silent और अगर sales बढ़ रहा है या कम हो रहा है, we will assume that the PV ratio is same, because the thing that is increasing is what? My quantity that is increasing or decreasing. So if the question is silent and the sales is either increasing or decreasing, then we will assume that there is a change in quantity. Therefore, PV ratio will remain unchanged. Very important. This line is very important, that PV ratio will remain unchanged. However, if the question clearly specifies that there is a change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, then only the PV ratio will change. So, however, if the question clearly specifies the change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, then PV ratio will change. So in short, PV ratio remain constant at all the level of sales. अगर क्वेश्चन साइलेंट है, सेल्स बढ़ रहा है, it means the quantity is increasing. If the question is silent, the sales is reducing, it means the quantity is reducing. There is no change in selling price or variable cost per unit. So it means what? There will be no change in PV ratio. So make a thumb rule, do make a note of it. If the question is silent, PV ratio is constant for all the level of sales. However, if the question clearly specifies that there is a change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, yes, the PV ratio will change. Anyone having any doubts or queries till now? Anyone with any doubts or queries? Waiting for your queries. I hope this part PV ratio is clear to all. Anyone with any doubts or queries, you guys can post your queries. So very important. If the sales is increasing, it means the quantity is increasing. If the sales is reducing, it means the quantity is reducing. So if the question is silent, we will assume that PV ratio is constant. I repeat again, if the question is silent regarding the change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, this relationship will never change. That is 30%, 70% relationship will never change. So ultimately, the variable cost will reduce proportionately and the contribution will reduce proportionately if the units are reduced. So this is all what about PV ratio. I request you guys to copy this explanation. So in short, PV ratio remain constant at all the level of sales. However, if the question clearly specifies the change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, then PV ratio will change. This is the detailed point. So in short, PV ratio remain constant at all the level of sales. However, if the question clearly specifies the change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, then only the PV ratio will change. So enough of discussion on PV ratio. So first question what the examiner generally do ask is PV ratio that we have discussed in detail. Now let's move towards the next part of the chapter, that is break-even sales. So as discussed also, what is break-even sales? That level of sales where there is no profit, no loss. So break-even sales is the level of sales सेल्स का वो लेवल जहां पे हमें ना तो फायदा हो रहा है ना नुकसान हो रहा है. So in short, we can say there is no profit, no loss, or we can say profit or loss is zero. Alternatively, we can say the level of sales where the sales is equals to total cost. And when talking about total cost, it is what? Fixed plus variable. So when talking about break-even sales, it is the level of sales where there is no profit, no loss, or we can say the point where sales is equals to total cost. When talking about total cost, it is fixed plus variable. Let me discuss this concept with the help of a practical problem. Let's say my sales is 200. My variable cost is 120. My contribution will be how much? 80. My fixed cost is 40. Therefore, my profit will be what? 40. The relationship between contribution and sales, we call it as what? PV ratio. What is PV ratio? The relationship between contribution and sales. So herein contribution is 80, sales is 200. Therefore, my PV ratio will be how much? 40%. It means what? That is the contribution is what? How much? 40% of sales. So जो भी sales होगी उसका 40% क्या हो जाएगा? Contribution. जो भी सेल्स होगी उसका 40% क्या हो जाएगा? Contribution, and variable cost will be 60%. So this is the data given. Now let's say herein after making a sales of 200, I am getting a profit of 40. I'm after doing a sales of 200 rupees, I'm getting a profit of rupees 40. So can you guys tell me at what sales my profit will be zero? Or we can say you guys have to calculate the break-even sales, that is the sales where the sales is equals to total cost. So you have to post the sales figure at what sales the sales will be equal to total cost. Waiting for your answers. I've got answer 160, 160, 160 from everyone. Very good, everyone. Jaya Manochan, 160. Everyone posted the same answer, that is 160 as expected. You guys have to post the figure, that is the sales figure where sales is equals to total cost. Anyone with any other opinion, guys? Anyone with any other opinion? You have to post the sales figure where sales is equals to total cost. Yes, Jaya, I will just give me some time. You have to post the figure of sales where sales is equals to total cost. My PV ratio is 40% of sales. I've got Rabari has some different opinion. So let me check Rabari. Rest everyone with answer 160. So, okay. Yes, now stop. Guys, the next question for the students who posted this answer 160. I repeat again, guys. For all the students who posted this answer 160 rupees, you want to say that the sales is reduced. It means you are saying that if the sales is 200, this is the profit. So if the sales is 160, my profit will be zero. This is all what you want to say, right? One second. Very good, Mustafa. Let me check your answer, your explanation is correct or not. So you guys want to say that 160 is the sales where my profit is zero. So my question to all of you guys, if the sales is reduced from 200 to 160, if the sales is reduced from 200 to 160, my question is variable cost will be same or it will change? अगर sales कम हो रही है तो variable cost will be same or it will change? Yes, guys. Many students posted this answer 160. In fact, apart from one or two students, everyone posted the same answer. So herein the sales is reducing. So variable cost will reduce or not? I understand that fixed cost remain constant at all the level of sales. But variable cost, what I discussed was that variable cost keeps on changing as per the production. So if the sales is reducing, the question to all who posted this answer 160, that variable cost will also remain same or it will change because the sales is going down. So variable cost will be constant or it will change? Yes, everyone waiting for your answer. So many students posted that, sir, yes, it will change. Then do you think your answer is correct or incorrect? So what's your opinion? Your answer is 160 is correct or incorrect? So everyone admitted also that yes, we are wrong now. Appreciate that बहुत जल्दी दिमाग में आ गया कि you guys are wrong. Yes, so answer, many student posted this answer. What say this answer is correct or incorrect? Yes, everyone. See, the point is, आप गलती करते हो, it doesn't make any difference. If you are able to realize that what you did wrong, then that is the best part. So what say it? The answer is correct or incorrect? Very good, Ashlesha. Yes, well said that it is incorrect. So as many posted this answer 160, and now they are saying that my answer is incorrect. So see, if the sales is reducing to 160, my variable cost will reduce proportionately, my contribution will reduce proportionately. See, guys, we have calculated the PV ratio, that is 40%. And as I told you guys, see, I had made a long discussion on this part that if the question is silent, assume that if the sales is increasing, quantity is increasing. If the sales is reducing, the quantity is reducing. It means PV ratio remain constant at all the level of sales. So herein, this sales to contribution 40% and sales to variable cost 60% will never change unless and until the question clearly specifies. So many students posted this answer 160. So if 160 is the sales, my contribution will be how much? 160 into 40%, that is 64. My fixed cost will remain same as I discussed. that irrespective of production, fixed cost will always remain constant. So my fixed cost will be 40. So herein my profit will be 24. So this will be 96. So this is not the break-even sales. So answer you guys posted 160 is incorrect. Okay, what will be the correct answer? That is secondary. But first, you guys should understand that if I'm posting any answer, why it is incorrect. So I hope this part is clear that this 160 is incorrect. Now the point is, what is the correct answer? Now the question is, what is the correct answer? See, as I said, at break-even sales, how much is my profit? 0. How much will be my fixed cost? 40. As I said, that fixed cost remain constant at all the level of sales. So how much will be my fixed cost? 40. So contribution minus fixed cost should be profit. So contribution minus fixed cost should be profit. So what will be my contribution? 40. Now we have got the contribution and we know the relationship between contribution and sales, that is 40%. So this 40 is equals to how much? 40%. So how much will be my 100%? 100 rupees. So ultimately rupees 100 is what? My break even sales, because at this level there will be no profit, no loss. So I repeat again, at break even sales we do expect a profit of 0. So my fixed cost is fixed at all the level of sales. The cost that changes according to sales is what? My variable cost. So herein, my contribution will be how much? Contribution minus fixed cost is profit. So profit plus fixed cost is what? Contribution. Now this contribution is equals to 40%. So how much will be my 100%? My sales of rupees 100. So my variable cost will be how much? 60 rupees. So as I said, at break-even sales, there is no profit, no loss. First point. Second point, fixed costs remain constant at all the level of sales. Third point, I discussed these points in detail. So the purpose of discussion is, this only, that variable cost, it keeps on changing as per the production. So herein what we did actually, what we did, 40, this 40 we got, divided by 40%. This is what? Rupees 100 is what? My break-even sales. How come we got this contribution 40? Fixed cost plus my 0 profit. This is what? My profit. So profit plus my fixed cost divided by 40%. Now, as I said, that at break-even sales, my profit is what? 0. So no need to write 0. So straight away, if you want to calculate break-even sales, straight away you can say fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So my fixed cost is 40, my PV ratio is 40%. So how much will be my break-even sales? 100 rupees. So as I said, there are no formulas in costing. So herein also very simple. These are the formulas given. So you have to remember the formulas, but you can easily frame formulas. So just like standard costing, you won't be able, in fact, marginal costing, so you won't be able to solve the questions with formula. You need to be thorough with the concept if you want to solve the question on marginal costing. Standard costing, somehow, somewhere you can apply the formulas, but marginal costing, you won't be able to solve the question if you stick to the formulas. So this is the concept of this formula, break-even sales. So now let me check if there are any doubts or queries. So I hope this part is clear to all. Anyone having any doubts or queries in break-even sales? I request you guys to copy this explanation. Everything do copy. That's okay. Break-even sales is that level of sales where there is no profit, no loss, or we can say sales is equals to total cost. This was the question. The relationship between sales and contribution is what we call as PV ratio. Now, sir asked this question that what will be the break-even sales? So we solved it 160. Now, why 160 is incorrect? That also you write that this is why 160 was incorrect. So now, when talking about the correct answer, this is the explanation and this is the formula that is framed. So this is the pattern, how to prepare your notes and how to write your comments. So do prepare your notes, giving you 5 minutes time. Write it down with patience. Write down your comments that what we did wrong and what sir corrected. So giving you 2 to 3 minutes time. Please copy everything and do write your comments in your notebook. So when talking about the formula that is given, it is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. But I hope you guys are thorough with how come this formula is derived. So let's take one more question on break-even sales. My contribution per unit is rupees 3. Now the relationship between contribution and sales, we call it as PV ratio. That is contribution divided by sales into 100. So it is 1500 divided by 5000 into 100. So that is 30%. Alternatively, we can say 3 divided by 10. This relationship is very important. So 3 divided by 10 into 100, that is 30%. Now, what will be the break-even sales? Now, this time I want correct answers from everyone. What will be my break-even sales? Very good, Jaya. Your answer is correct. Now, this time I expect answers from everyone and I want correct answer. Meenu, it is correct. Sara Kasim, please recheck your answer. Rest everyone correct answer. Sara Kasim, please recheck your answer. Miss Hina, it is correct. Ria, please check your answer. Rest everyone correct answer till now. Ashlesha, very good. Rabari, very good. Mustafa, very good. Diya, Pooja, Tanu, Shamli, everyone very good. Meenu, very good, it is correct. Himanshu, it is correct. Very good, everyone. The answer is correct. Very good, Pranav. Where is Yashashwini? You have not posted the answer, Yashashwini. Ria Karekar, it is correct. Very good, Yashashwini. Khushbu, Geeta, Anil, Pooja, Adil, where are you guys? You have not posting the answers. Rohan, Shamli, Sabah, Shakil, Mujahid, Gunjan, you are not posting the answers. I want answers from every one of you guys. Very good, Aditya. Very good, Sabah. So very simple. At break-even sales, my profit should be how much? 0. My fixed cost will not change. So this will be same. Contribution minus fixed cost is what? My profit. So 900. This 900 is equals to how much? 30%. So how much will be my break-even sales? 3,000. This will be my balancing figure. Again, what I actually did, that is, my fixed cost was 900 plus my profit was 0 divided by 30%. This 3,000 rupees was my break-even sales. So you can ignore 0 straight away. You can ignore 0 straight away. So 900 divided by 3,000 rupees, that is what? My break-even sales. So when talking about break-even sales, we can write the formula also for your reference. That is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So herein 0 plus 900 divided by 30%. This is how I got contribution. How come I got this contribution? 0 plus 900 divided by 30%. So profit is 0 plus fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So better ignore writing 0. So straight away fixed cost divided by PV ratio. Now this is 3,000 rupees and very important. One unit is sold at a price of rupees 10. The total sales in rupees is how much? 3,000 and one unit is sold at a price of rupees 10. So we can say how many units were sold? 300 units. How many units were sold? 300 units. Because see, my sales is 3,000 and the selling price is per unit is rupees 10. Total sales is 3,000. One unit we are selling for 10. So how many units? 300 units. Alternatively, you can calculate break-even sales with the same concept I have discussed. That let's say I'm the manufacturer of this marker pen. 1 second, guys. Very good, Adil. I'm sorry. I think I skipped your answer. No worries. Okay. So now let's say I'm the manufacturer of this marker pen. This marker pen is manufactured at a variable cost of how much? 7 rupees. and sold at rupees how much? 10. So per pen, how much I am saving? Rupees 3. Now my first target will be what? To recover my fixed cost. My fixed cost is how much? 900. So how many pens should I manufacture and sell so that I can recover 900? Very simple. Per pen I am recovering 3. Total amount I have to recover is 900. So if I manufacture and sell 300 pens, will be able to recover my fixed cost. So at the end of the day, how much I want to recover? 900. Per pen, how much I am recovering? Rupees 3. So we can say if I manufacture and sell 300 pens, that will be my break-even sales. So again, when talking about the formula, you can frame the formula now that the amount we have to recover is what? Fixed cost. The per pen I'm recovering is how much? Contribution per unit. So this is what? My break-even sales in units. My break-even sales in units. So if you want to calculate break-even sales in rupees, it is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. If you want to calculate break-even sales in units, it is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. But again, there are no formulas in marginal costing. I have discussed all the concepts. So anyone having any doubts in break-even sales, you guys can post your queries. Mr. Anil, as I said, I'm manufacturing this pen at a cost of rupees 7. My variable cost. My selling price is rupees 10. So after recovering the variable cost, how much I'm earning? 3 rupees. So in aggregate, how much I want to earn? 900 rupees. So 3, 3, 3, 3. How many units should I manufacture and sell? 300 units. Then only will be able to recover 900. I hope this part is clear to you, Anil. I have considered both the variable cost and the fixed cost. Kushbu Kumari, 300 is my sales, 900 is my contribution. So 2100 will be what? 3000 minus 900. This is my balancing figure variable cost. Alternatively, if the contribution is 30% of sales, so variable cost will be 70% of sales, Kushbu. Yes, break-even sales in units and break-even point in units is same. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? I'm done with break-even sales and PV ratio. I request you guys to copy this explanation. And these are the two key concepts what I have discussed, that is break-even sales in rupees and break-even sales in units. So it is fixed cost divided by PV ratio or fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. In contribution, we have already while calculating contribution, we are already considering the variable cost, that is sales minus variable cost is what we call as contribution, Anil. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? I hope you guys are thorough with the concepts of PV ratio and break-even sales. Again, no need to apply the formulas. The concepts are the key. And again, as I said, initially also this chapter is based on 5 terms: sales, variable cost, contribution, fixed cost, and profit. That's it. If you are thorough with these 5 terms, you can solve any question of marginal costing. So fine, guys, we are done with break-even sales and PV ratio. Let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back after 15 minutes with few new concepts and we'll discuss few more points. So, Edwin sir, are you there? Break start kar dijiye. Welcome back, my friends. Edwin sir, can you please share the WhatsApp group link to? Acha, okay. Mustafa, I'll be guiding you this in my last class. Don't worry, Mustafa. So fine. We are done with PV ratio and break-even sales. So let's proceed further with the next part of the chapter. The third part, that is desired sales. My third part is desired sales. Let's discuss this concept with the help of an example where in the same question I'm taking, my sales is 200. My variable cost is 120. My contribution is 80. My fixed cost is 40. Therefore, my profit will be 40. The relationship between contribution and sales, we call it as PV ratio, that is 40%. Now, we discussed break-even sales, wherein I was expecting a profit of 0 rupees. So at 0 profit, the sales what we are making is what we call as break-even sales. Now let's say on a fine day, I decide that I want a profit of at least rupees 600. I repeat again, on a fine day, I decide that at least I want to earn a profit of 600. So how much sales should we do to earn a profit of 600? I repeat again, my point is that on a particular day, I decide that at least I should earn 600 rupees. I want to earn 600 rupees. So how much sales should I do to earn a profit of 600? Can you guys tell me? The concept is similar to break-even sales. At break-even sales, my desired profit was what? 0. So now let's say if I want to earn a profit of 600. So how much sales is required to earn a profit of 600? Can you guys tell me again? Don't post it over the common group. So how much sales is required to earn a profit of 600? Admin sir, the visibility is okay. Manish sir, the visibility is all okay. Okay. Yeah. How much sales is required to earn a profit of 600? Waiting for your answers. I want answers from everyone now. Very good, Pooja. Very good, Shamli. Very good, Namrata. How much sales is required? Very good, Pooja B. Your answer is incorrect. Priya Sharma, answer is incorrect. I want answers from everyone. Hina, very good. Your answer is correct. Ashlesha, very good. Your answer is correct. Pooja, very good. Correct answer. Rohan Bachawat, correct answer. Mustafa, correct answer. Very good. Tanu Vishwakarma, correct answer. Those whose answers were incorrect, do try to recalculate. Yes, Linga, Pushbu, waiting for your answers. Anil, Adil, Sara. Diya Jain, your answer is incorrect. Linga, correct answer. Very good. Jaya, very good. Correct answer. Mr. Rahman, waiting for your answer. Pranav, Himanshu. Gunjan, correct answer. Shamli, correct answer. Khushbu, let me check. Those students whose answers are incorrect can repost their answers. Khushbu Kumari, your answer is incorrect. Geeta, correct answer. Very good, Geeta. Aditya, correct answer. Very good. Yes, Harshkar, Harivansh. Waiting for your answers. Pooja B, it is correct. Rabari, it is correct. Don't worry. Still, I have not received answers from many students. So, Mr. Rahman, how much sales is required to earn a profit of 600? In break-even sales, my profit was 0. So, herein the profit is given that is 600. So, how much sales is required to earn this much of profit? Adil, it is correct. Very good. Vedant Tiwari, it is incorrect. Harivansh Kumar, it is incorrect. I'm surprised. Why? How come you guys are not getting the answers? Yes, Arun, Ashlesha, waiting for your answers. Harsh Mishra, Pooja Byalal, Mujahid, Ria, Yashashwini, Sabha Shakil. Very good, Priya. It is correct. So, very simple, guys. In break-even sales, my expected profit was 0. But herein my desired profit is given that is 600. That is, I want to earn 600 rupees. My fixed cost will never change. It will remain same. So how much will be my contribution? Contribution minus fixed cost is profit. So contribution will be how much? Fixed cost plus profit will be contribution. See, 640 minus 40 is 600. 640 minus 40 is 600. Few students took it as 560 also. That's why you guys are getting 1400. So contribution will be 640. This 640 is equals to how much? 40%. So how much will be 100%? 1600. Now, very important, guys, what actually I did? 640 divided by 40%. How come I got 640? 40 plus 600 divided by 40%. So 40 is what? My fixed cost plus 600 is what? My desired profit. At break-even sales, my desired profit was 0. So that's why I have skipped this point. But herein the profit figure is given that is 600. So fixed cost plus desired profit divided by 40% is what? My PV ratio. So very simple. 40 is my fixed cost. 600 is my desired profit. PV ratio is 40%. So this will be rupees 1600. So when talking about the formula for desired sales in rupees, it will be fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. I request you guys to copy this explanation. Sara Qasim, please recheck your answer. Himanshu, please recheck your answer. Sabha Shakil, very good. The answer is correct. Meenu, very good. Your answer is correct. Yes, Pooja. Very good, Ashlesha. I request you guys to copy this explanation. If you want to calculate desired sales in rupees, it is fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. Okay, Himanshu, that's okay. I know you have done 560 divided by 40%. So 600 minus 40, 560 you got, and 560 divided by 40% is, I think, 1400. Yes, so this was the mistake what many students did. So it is fixed cost. Yes, Harsh Mishra, I know. Even Himanshu also did the same thing. So don't rush for the solution. Read the question carefully. Recheck the calculation also. See, contribution minus fixed cost is profit. So 560 minus 40 is 520. So that answer is straight away incorrect. Anyone with any doubts or queries now? Let's take one more question. I'm manufacturing and selling 500 units. So 500 into 10, 5,000. 500 into 7, 3,500. So contribution per unit will be 3. This will be 1,500. My fixed cost is, let's say, 900. So my profit will be 600. The relationship between contribution and sales, we call it as PV ratio. That is contribution divided by sales into 100. That is 1,500 divided by 5,000 into 100. That is 30%. Now, let's say I have a desire to earn a profit of, let's say, 3,000 rupees. So how much sales is required? How much sales is required to earn this profit of 3,000? Can you guys tell me? You can post it over the common group now. Don't post it individually. Very good, Pooja. It is correct. Ravari, it is correct. Very good, everyone. Correct answers. So herein, I have a desire to earn a profit of 3,000 rupees. My fixed cost is how much? 900. So this will be 3,900. This 3,900 is equals to 30%. So how much will be 100%? 13,000 rupees. So this is 9,100. My variable cost, that is my balancing figure. Again, what I did, fixed cost plus my desired profit, we get the contribution divided by PV ratio, that is 30%. So same way, fixed cost plus my desired profit. So my fixed cost was 900 plus my desired profit was 3,000 divided by 30%. This is how I got 13,000 rupees. And since one unit is sold at the rate rupees 10, so we can say it is 1,300 units. So this is the way to calculate desired sales in rupees and in units. There is one more way to calculate it in units. The same example. Let's say I'm manufacturing this pen at a variable cost of rupees 7. I'm selling this pen at the rate rupees 10. So how much I'm recovering per pen? Rupees 3. So per pen, I'm getting 3 rupees. Now earlier, I was having a desire to earn 900 only to achieve break-even sales. But my demand has increased now. Apart from recovering my fixed cost, I want additional amount also, that is 3,000 as profit. So total amount I want to recover is how much? 900 towards fixed cost and 3,000 towards profit. So total amount I want to recover is 3,900. So in short, I want to earn 3,900 and per pen I'm earning 3 rupees. So how many pens should I manufacture and sell? Very simple. 3,900 I want to earn. Per pen I'm earning 3 rupees. So if I manufacture and sell 1,300 pens, that is 3,900 divided by 3. That is, if I manufacture and sell 1,300 pens, I'll be getting an overall contribution of 3,900. So again, the same concept I have applied in break-even sales, that if you want to calculate desired sales in units, that is the amount I want to earn before, that is fixed cost. Now additional amount I want to earn is my desired profit. So this is the total amount I want to earn, and per pen how much I'm earning? Rupees 3. That is my contribution per unit. So fixed cost 900 plus 3,000, that is the additional amount I want to earn, and per pen I'm earning 3 rupees. So it is 1,300 units. So it is desired sales in units, and this is desired sales in rupees. I request you guys to copy this explanation. That's okay, Namrata. Completely okay, no worries. But again, do read the question carefully before starting the solution. Any doubts, Mustafa? Hina, Mustafa, anyone having any doubts? Very good, Jaya. All your answers were correct. Gunjan, your answers were also correct. Very good, Gunjan. I request you guys to copy this explanation, please. So now, guys, we are done with PV ratio, that is contribution divided by sales into 100. Thereafter, we finished break-even sales, that is the sales where there is no profit, no loss. When talking about if you want to calculate break-even sales in rupees, it is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. And if you want to calculate in units, it is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Thereafter, we discussed desired sales also, wherein if you want to calculate it in rupees, it is fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. And if you want to calculate it in units, it is fixed cost plus desired profit divided by contribution per unit. Now let's move towards the next part. Don't worry, every day is not a Sunday, Meenu. I'll be asking variety of questions in the coming session. Yes, few questions will be easy, but yes, definitely after solving few easy questions, I'll be starting with tricky questions. Don't worry. I'll not disappoint you. Don't worry. So now let's start with the next part. That is margin of safety. Margin of safety means the safety margin. It says how much we are safe from deadline of business. How much we are safe from deadline of business. When talking about deadline, it talks about break-even sales. So let's say the current position of my business is rupees 5,000 sales. This is my current position or actual sales. Now my deadline is what? How much? Let's say my deadline is 3,000 rupees. That is my break-even sales. Once the sales goes below 3,000, I'll start making losses. So this is my dead point of business now. So how much safe I am? By 2,000 rupees. I repeat again. Currently, I'm at this level. We call it as actual sales. My deadline is what? 3,000. That is my break-even sales. Once the sales goes below 3,000, it means I'll start making losses. So how much safe I am? 2,000 rupees. So this is what my margin of safety. So what I actually did, 5,000 minus 3,000, I got 2,000. So when talking about margin of safety, it is actual sales minus break-even sales. Margin of safety is actual sales minus break-even sales. I repeat again, when talking about margin of safety or safety margin, it is basically that how much you are safe from deadline of the business. When talking about deadline, it is what? My break-even sales. So currently I am at this level, that is my actual sales, and my break-even sales is 3,000. So how much I am safe? By 2,000 rupees I am safe. So this 2,000 rupees is what? My margin of safety. So what is margin of safety? The level where I am at present minus the dead point of business, that once you cross that break-even sales, matlab, once the sales goes below break-even sales, we will start making loss. So how much safe I am? 2,000 rupees. So that is what my margin of safety sales. There is an alternate way to understand the margin of safety concept, wherein Let's say my actual sales is 5,000. My variable cost is 3,000. My contribution is 2,000. My fixed cost is, let's say, 1,200. And my profit is how much? 800. My PV ratio is how much? 40%. That is 2,000 divided by 5,000 into 100. That is 40%. 2,000 divided by 5,000 into 100, that is 40%. Now, what will be my break-even sales? Break-even sales is the sales where there is no profit, no loss. So we can say my break-even sales will be how much? 0, 1,200, 1,200. So 1,200 is equals to 40%. So this will be 3,000. So 1,800 will be what? My variable cost. So at break-even sales, after recovering my variable cost, my fixed cost is recovered. Now, once the sales cross 3,000, whatever the amount whatever the sales I'm making, 40% will be my contribution and the balance will be my profit. So here, let's say I'm making a sales of 2,000 because 5,000 is my actual sales, 3,000 is my break-even sales. So margin of safety is 2,000. Now at 2,000, I'll be making a contribution of 800. Now, very important, guys, my fixed cost is already recovered here. My fixed cost is already recovered. So my profit will be how much? 800. My profit will be how much? Because from this 5,000, 3,000 is the sales where I have recovered my fixed cost. So once you cross break-even sales, the extra sales what we are making over and above break-even sales, from that sales, whatever the contribution we are getting is what? My profit. So herein, fixed cost is already recovered here. So we are getting a profit of 800. So ultimately, what is profit? What is profit? The contribution over and above fixed cost. The additional contribution above fixed cost. So in short, if we divide 800 by 40%, we'll be getting the margin of safety. And what is 800? Basically, my profit. So when talking about margin of safety, there is one more formula, that is profit divided by PV ratio. When talking about profit, what is profit? The additional contribution above break-even sales. Additional contribution after recovering fixed cost. So margin of safety, you can calculate it in two ways. First one is profit divided by PV ratio. Second one is actual sales minus break-even sales. I request you guys to copy this explanation. Thank you so much, Mustafa. Don't worry, today I'll be addressing your query on activity-based costing. I'll speak to Mayank sir, who is the person in charge of all the mails. So I'll be contacting you today only. Don't worry, Mustafa. Yes, actual profit divided by C. When talking about contribution, the contribution is what? Basically, the contribution towards fixed cost and profit. So whatever we are contributing towards fixed cost, we are getting break-even sales. And whatever we are contributing towards profit, we are getting margin of safety. So what is contribution? See, Meenu, what you said, contribution divided by PV ratio is margin of safety. No, contribution can be divided in two parts, fixed cost and profit. So whatever we are contributing towards fixed cost, we are getting break-even sales. And whatever we are contributing towards profit, we are getting margin of safety. I request you guys to copy this explanation, please. Giving you 2 to 3 minutes time to copy everything. See, Aditya, my total sales is 5,000. My break-even sales is 3,000 and margin of safety is 2,000. At break-even sales, whatever the contribution we are getting, we are recovering our fixed cost. See, I'm getting a contribution of 1,200. So, we are recovering our fixed cost. Now, once the contribution crosses 1,200, जैसे ही contribution 1,200 से ज़्यादा होगा, see at 1,200 we are recovering our fixed cost. So once the contribution crosses 1,200, the extra contribution is what? My profit. So my total contribution was 2,000. Now, of this 2,000, 1,200 is my fixed cost. So balance 800 contribution is what? My profit. So if the fixed cost exceeds 1,300, so suppose if the fixed cost is 1,300, my break-even sales will change. So 1,300 divided by 40% will be my new break-even sales. So balance sales left out will be my margin of safety sales Minu. I hope this part is clear. Let's say if my fixed cost is 1,300, so 1,300 divided by 40%, 3,250 will be what? My break-even sales. If my fixed cost is 1,300, so my revised break-even sales will be how much? 3,250. So what will be my margin of safety sales? 1,750. So from this 1,750 additional sales over and above break-even sales, we will be getting a profit of how much? 700. So 700 divided by 40% will be what? My margin of safety, or 1,750 will be my margin of safety. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? I'll be guiding you in my last session. I think three more sessions are left. So in the fourth session of marginal costing, I'll be guiding you everything, how to prepare how to plan your studies, how to prepare for your exams, what all subjects you should touch first, what all subjects you should read on consistent basis. So don't worry, Shamli. I'll be providing you a guide how to approach your studies to prepare for your exams. Don't worry. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? So guys, I'm done with today's session. We have discussed all the basic concepts. So homework from my side is do revise what I have discussed in today's session, because in the coming session, it's most of the time I'll be asking the questions and I want answers from everyone. So come prepared for the next session. Do revise what I have discussed in today's class and take care of yourself. God bless you. See you day after tomorrow. Thank you so much. Yes, sir, I'm done.